He attacked my dad. No, you attacked me. You worked with Max Blumenthal, son of Sidney Blumenthal, to get a hit piece written about me in the Gray Zone calling me a fed because your buddy, Joe Kent, who is also in the CIA, said that he doesn't support my views on Israel.
P-Record back with another video. Got some more Nick Fuentes clips for you guys today. First clip we got for you guys is Nick checking Tucker Carlson for remarks he's made. He's been going around on podcasts talking about, oh yeah, that Nick. The reason I had Nick on was to show that you're an anti-Semite and that it's not good to be like that. And we don't need that over here in America, you know. And it's like, shut up, dude. Like the whole time when Tucker and Nick were going at it in the interview, he didn't ask one question about that. That's what even Nick said. Nick even said he didn't even bring it up during the dinner too, before they did the podcast. And it's like, now you're over here saying this and that. Like, shut up, bro. But so that's the first clip. Nick's live Monday through Friday on Rumble. I'll link it down below in the description. And yeah,
I won't say fuck Tucker because I was in his cabin and everything, but buddy, he is up to something. This guy is up to something, you know, and I don't like that he was so two-faced. He's a two-faced. I don't like two-faces. I know I'm from Chicago. We're not two-faced here in Chicago. Maybe you're two-faced up in New England, in Fox News, you know, in that world where you come from. We're not two-faced out here. And so you bring me on the show and you say one thing, and then you go everywhere and say, well, he attacked my dad. I didn't attack your dad. You lied. You lied. You said you didn't know your dad was in the CIA. He was. That's not an attack. That's a fact. He attacked my dad. No, you attacked me. You worked with Max Blumenthal, son of Sidney Blumenthal, to get a hit piece written about me in the Gray Zone calling me a fed because your buddy, Joe Kent, who is also in the CIA, said that he doesn't support my views on Israel. So where's the accounting for that? Or is that something else we want to gloss over? And then proceeds to say, well, I don't approve of his anti-Semitism. I don't even know what that means. I don't hate anybody. I'm not a Jew hater. I don't hate anybody. I just recognize, like everybody does now, that we live in a Jewish oligarchy. Okay? The reason we live in a society that is apostatized from Jesus Christ, the reason we live in a diverse society that was reconstituted under Martin Luther King Jr. and the ADL and the Civil Rights Act and the Hart-Celler Act is because of Jewish activists working in the diaspora to make this country more hospitable to their ascendancy, to make it tolerate a hostile foreign occupation. That's why. And they're using that same influence to build up their base of power in Israel. That's a fact. Everybody knows that. And if you can't say that with your chest, if you can't support me for saying that, I don't trust you. Because I'm saying nothing wrong. I'm not saying anything wrong. And I don't like that. And by the way, I'm one of the only ones telling the truth. I'm not a perfect person. You don't have to avow every joke or shitty thing I've ever said, but I'm one of the only ones telling the truth. So if it's anything other than he's telling the truth, it's, he's an anti-Semite. Oh, I don't approve of his anti-Semitism. When people tell you who they are, listen. When people take their mask off and they show you who they are, you listen.
Don't be gay. Women tune in also.
Oh, is that where we're going with this now? If we're not appealing directly to women, now we're gay. This is why women ruin everything. This is why women ruin everything they touch, because these bitches come into a male space and they go, I'm a Groyper. I'm a Groyper. Oh my gosh, I'm a girl and I'm a Groyper. And they come around and they go, I'm based, nigger. And everybody goes, oh, look, a female Groyper. And then, and she's hanging out. And then guys get together and they're like, you know what? She's kind of a stupid bitch. And then the girl says, rape, rape. Men are raping me. Men are attacking me. This movement isn't traditional at all. Every single time, this always happens. The second that women are not pandered to, the second that women are not accommodated, then they turn it around and they say, the whole organization's the problem. You're not changing the rules to accommodate me? You're not bending over backwards to accommodate me? You're a bunch of hypocrites. You're not real men. You see this, and it happens every single time. Every single time. The second that men are not bending over backwards to accommodate women, or if women are treated the same way as men are in the male space, then they cry that they're being abused. And they go, this movement hates women. Women shouldn't support this. And then their simps and their orbiters and their defenders leap into battle. Hey, Nick, this isn't cool. You got to say something. These Groypers are attacking her. And this is how they divide the movement. Listen, kid, I've been around the block. I've seen it over and over again. And that's why you really need to protect the integrity of a male-only space. So I love women, and women can support the movement, and especially the moms, because the moms kind of get it. The moms kind of get it. I don't know what it is, but I think women that reach menopause, they become more down to earth. They become more grounded, not to be graphic. And also mothers maybe feel a little bit differently, but it's like the younger women, they always throw a wrench in because they start fucking all the guys. And again, they're a black hole of attention. And then they stir the pot because they really just like drama. A lot of them don't really deeply care about politics. They don't think about power systems. They don't think about commodities. They don't think about supply chains and geostrategy. Like they're not actually really concerned with the big questions of politics. They're really entering the space for attention, or their boyfriend is right wing or something like that. And then because women are fickle, when they for a moment stop being content, then they want to stir the pot just because they want to see drama, just because they want to see, and they don't actually care about the organization. Then they just want to see everybody fight over them and dance for them. And they just want to be a part of some dramatic tale. They want to create gossip. Listen, I've been in politics for 10 years, and my overall antipathy for women aside, and whatever you think about me and my sexuality is really irrelevant. What is true? Because, people can say, well, you don't have a girlfriend, blah, 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 whatever. I've seen it happen over and over and over again. It happens every single time. That's why it's no e-girls. The female audience, let's just not get too comfortable, because it gets too comfortable and then the women start to say, oh, I want to be the star of the show. If I'm not getting enough attention, I'm going to create a problem. Thanks for the reminder. We appreciate the reminder. Happens all the time. I've seen
Renegade sent $30.
It could not be more clear. And by the way, let me tell you something else. Okay, it is so obvious what's going on here. So obvious. Mark Levin, Barry Weiss, Ben Shapiro, Randy Fine, Joel Berry, all these people, they are the biggest liars in America. That's all they do. They lie like they breathe. And they come on the air and they pretend to care about our religion, and they pretend to care about our country and about our children and about our young men and our people. But we all know the only reason they are scrambling, panicking, one reason and one reason only, it's because people are waking up about our Jewish oligarchy. That's it. And we all know why. All of them are Jewish. All of them have a special affinity for Israel. And by all of them, I mean all these people that have spoken out in the past few weeks. When these Jewish people get together at the North American Jewish Federation, at the Republican Jewish Coalition, at the World Jewish Congress, at the Conference for Major American Jewish Organizations, and they get up on stage, and right, left, and center, they get up and they decry the anti-Semites on the left and on the right, Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes, Hassan Piker and Zohran Mamdani. The only reason they're saying these things is because they are here as a foreign entity to lobby and manipulate the American public to support their country and their well-being at our expense. That's it. These people are Jewish. That's why they care about Israel, and they are here to make sure that all of us Americans never stop supporting Israel. I'm here to tell Americans we don't have to listen to them. As a matter of fact, you shouldn't listen to them. Americans should tune out people that care about other countries. You care about Israel? We put the volume to 0. We're not listening. I don't care what your take is on gun control. I don't care what your take is on healthcare. You are a Jew that only cares about Israel. There's no we here. You, they are not part of this conversation. This is a conversation between Americans about what America will do. America is a country of, by, and for the American people. A republic comprised of American citizens. Americans are going to speak to other Americans about what is best for Americans. Americans are going to make their decision about who we are going to vote for the leader of America and what America will do with regard to Israel. We're not going to listen to pro-Israel Jews that are here to tell us that we don't have a decision, that there's one decision, and that is to support Israel. How much are we going to support Israel? Are we going to give them all our money or most of our money? Are we going to fight all their wars or some of their wars? Are we going to fight in an offensive or defensive capacity? If you are here as a foreign propagandist, as a foreign lobbyist, as a foreign spy, if you have another allegiance, you are not in this conversation. We're telling Barry Weiss and Ben Shapiro, butt out. You are not invited. You are not one of us. You are one of them. Ben Shapiro, you have an Israeli wife and Israeli kids. You live in an all-Jewish neighborhood. You've been to Israel more times than I can count on two hands. You are not American. You are not one of us. Barry Weiss, you finished college and got trained in Israel to advocate for Israel. You're a foreign spy. You should be deported. You speak to an audience of Jews about what is best for Jews. You talk to Jews about using the position and resources of other Jews to advance the interests of Jews at the expense of everybody else, without regard for what's best for Americans, America as a whole, Americans that are not loyal to Israel, Americans that are not Jewish. So you are one of them. We are going to ignore you. Real Americans are going to turn to each other. And we are going to talk about all the things we're not allowed to talk about. We're not going to listen to you or your puppets, your $7,000 shills. We're not going to listen to Officer Talmud, the dumbest man on the internet, Officer Tatum. We're not going to listen to people that work for Glenn Beck at the Blaze after he cried because they turned down his application for Israeli citizenship. We're not going to listen to people that work for Ben Shapiro at the Daily Wire that want to beat their chest about America, but they work for the #1 pro-Israel traitor in the history of the United States, Ben Shapiro. We are not going to listen.
Macron, honestly, it's just such a Faustian way of dealing with Russian propagandists. Do you think Candy will be hiding in Moscow by the end of the year?
No, I mean, look, I will believe it when I see evidence. Here's the thing. Candace Owens says, oh, they're trying to kill me. We haven't seen a shred of evidence. Like, where's the evidence? She just sounds crazy. She's going on Instagram saying that Brigitte Macron's ancestors were chocolatiers in Nazi Germany. I'm not making this up. They're Judenrat chocolatiers. They're Jewish spies or something, or they're ratting out the Jews. I didn't follow that, actually, what she was saying about that, but that's the word she used. She said they were like Jewish spies in Nazi Germany running a chocolatier. They were chocolatiers. Then they came over to America in Project Paperclip. And then Brigitte Macron was a victim of MK Ultra and the Stanford prison experiment. And then she was given over to Macron to like spy on him on behalf of Israel. And that's why Macron is protected by Mossad. Like, that's the story. And Charlie Kirk was killed because she was going to blow the whistle, and now she's going to get killed by the French. And it's like, what a coincidence that all those conspiracies are connected to this, right? Like, Brigitte Macron, and like, you know what is really funny? Their only evidence that Brigitte Macron is a man is that they ran her face through facial recognition AI, and she has a partial match with a childhood photo of her brother. That's the evidence. And from that, we are getting the rest. So we are extrapolating, this 80-year-old woman looks like this grainy photo of her brother as a child. So based on that, we could go back to the French Revolution. The Trognos were missionaries during the White Lotus Rebellion in China. That's why they call the show White Lotus. Centuries later, they're Frankists. And they're in Nazi Germany making chocolate, and then they get sent to America with Werner Braun and Project Paperclip. Then they're in Stanford prison experiment and getting MK Ultra. Now they killed Charlie Kirk. And they're like Forrest Gump. They're like Forrest Gump times 6 million. The Trog knows. It's like sympathy for the devil. They were the Knights Templar. They were the Illuminists. They were the Masons. They were the Bolsheviks. They were the Nazis. They were the CIA. If she could produce a shred of evidence, I might find it believable. I don't wish any harm on her. I hope she's okay. I hope her family's okay. I hope it's not real. I don't want her to get murdered, obviously. I want her to live a long and happy life. But I just don't see any evidence. It sounds totally insane. It sounds totally insane to me. Oh, you know, you can't just like, and that's why I say the reason I got to get it out now is if somebody kills me, God forbid, if something happens to me, you just need to know, like, it's their fault. Okay. Like, you know, and maybe you shouldn't say that because then it's like, oh, like everyone will blame Tucker. No, I mean, it's not their fault. But if I get taken out, it's going to be a play, which is have me on the show, get people to trust those people, take me out, and then you get rid of your Groyper problem. Then all the Groypers become whatever the fuck that is. You know, we're going to talk about the neocons, which has nothing to do with Jewish oligarchs at all. It does not proceed from Judaism in any way. Really? Oh, okay. I think maybe that's the play. So be on high alert. Not while I'm alive. Not while I'm alive, not while I have a platform. Not going to let that go. All right. Well, we have to be a fist, okay? This is what Groyperism is. 5 fingers curled up in a fucking fist, punching the face of the system repeatedly, okay? We're not this, not hands up, don't shoot. This is what we are, okay? This is our strength. This is our strength. We are the Groypers united, a fist, punching the face of this system until we get America first. Don't listen to these other types of, oh, hey, you know, we want to, you know, let's all work together in a big tent to vote for Republicans, vote for J.D. Vance. Never forget, this is what we are, okay? Raise your right hand. A fist, clenched. That is what the Groypers are. And don't let them tell you, now the boomers want to say, we hear you. We're sorry. We feel bad. It's too late for that now. It's a little late for that. You had your chance. They're listening now because now we have a voice. So, too late.
You know, it is too late. You know, I mean, it's like Nick said, I mean, they can't stop the Groypers, man. We're going to continue to keep on growing, continue to fuck up the system and mess everybody up, you know, and it's just, they can't, you know, they're not going to stop us. And then when it goes back to Candace, you know, it's just like, I think that theory is kind of wild, you know, that she's claiming that Macron and France is involved, you know, planning an assassination attempt on her. I believe it a little bit, but then it's like, so you knew someone that was an insider in there and they told you blah, 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 that they were planning an assassination attempt on you, and it's just like, it's like Nick said, where's the evidence? We haven't found any good evidence, you know, so until I see evidence, you know, I'll believe it, you know, but like, subscribe, comment down below your thoughts on the video, you know, it helps me out, helps the channel out, trying to push more America First clips, you know. Everyone have a good one, and this is Pure Record, out.